NBA 2K25. This is going to be the ultimate recap of all the news about this game. And I want to kind of make it clear it's up to you guys if you want to play it. I'm not here to promote it. I'm not sponsored by 2K or anything, but I want to share my excitement and give you guys all the information you need to make a decision if you're into this game or not. Personally, I'm a basketball fan. I always play different basketball video games every year, and 2K has the premium experience in the game. You're watching the city trailer to start off, and this thing was insane. They had some reveals for people who are new and also for people who are veterans and been playing this game forever. We're going to be very happy as well. Tons of stuff. Let's dive deep into this and get everything that you need to know for it. We're going to go rapid fire on a lot of things. And we're going to start off with the city. First of all, it has many modes. We'll talk about each of them briefly and get into them. So, the city, as you can see in this trailer that we'll be playing in the background, you can slow it down and kind of take a look. There's the Walk of Fame, kind of like the Hall of Fame in Hollywood, the Walk of Fame, but they're doing it for the NBA. So you can have the championships on the floor, as well as having the first legends, which I think that's a very cool feature. One of the biggest things that I am like, I'm still in disbelief. I'm gonna be honest with you guys that I just can't wrap my head around. Well, I have my head wrapped around it, but I love this feature, which is that there's a brand new mode and it is actually ranked. So that to me is crazy just to think about. And I want to kind of make sure you guys hear that twice. All right. A ranked mode in 2K. And you might say that's already in the game. What are you talking about? Well, not really. We're going to get into all the details. Let's go ahead and show you the visuals. You're looking at it right there. This mode is called Proving Grounds, and you're going to be able to rank up in here and do your thing. And I'm going to take a moment and pause this video to give you the visuals of what ranked mode is offering. Craziness, as you can see. So you have 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and 5v5 game mode. And you can go into any of these, match make, and end up ranking up in this system right here. You can see from bronze all the way up to diamond, and then there's the top ranked. In here, there's so much information to get into, but basically, you want to work your way up, get rewards. It's going to show up on your player card that what level you are. You're going to get rep multipliers, and then on top of that, there's been said that a logo is going to be shown. I'm not sure about this. This was something we talked about as a community, but if that's the case as well, that is huge for the top players. Will be able to get that top five. Will be able to get that as a reward. I think that's incredible, in my opinion. And you know, first of all, competitive scenes are gonna shine bright this year. And I think that's very cool. And to kind of pause and give you guys a quick look, there is also the casual now, a casual area, but also you can go to that area if you're low level and you can work your way up to get better. But right in here, squad finder, you're able to look for squads. I think this is something I'm going to use as a streamer just to get in there casually, see if I find some good players. Who knows? Maybe we'll get in with some top guys and have some fun fooling around in there every once in a while just to vibe out. And I think it's a cool feature to give us as a community. Super awesome. And you're watching a lot of spoilers about things I'm about to talk about. They revealed, and I'll get into it in a minute. But let's stay locked in. All right, they have a new rec and a new ante up. You guys don't know those modes. Those are basically modes that's been around for very long, and they haven't got a lot of upgrades and things like that. So it's nice to finally get that. I'm excited to see what it looks like. One of the biggest deals in here, and you've probably seen it multiple times, is My Court. My Court is a feature where you're basically playing at your home court and you can play different modes. You can do different things inside that court, which look incredible. And by the way, the city looks fire. All right, so this is rec right here. We're gonna kind of pause so you can see it's green, really cool looking. I like it. And then of course these are the street courts. This is Annie up. Tons of really good things. They have the amazing, just like overall done a good job with this preview video. It's too much to just decompress all in one. And I mean, this can be its own video. So I'm not going to go too deep into each and every single detail, but man, I'm excited about it. I think it's a fun time to be a basketball fan and be able to get these good things. And we're going to go to the Learn 2K, which has got a lot of new modes in there. And then they have My Court, which you just saw someone on. And all of this stuff is going to be deep in the game, and you're able to do your thing as well. So, personally, I like what they did. And we're going to get into some of the other features. Uh, Rise and Elite is back. If you don't know what that is, it's affiliations, and you can get some buffs, but also represent and get extra rewards throughout the year if your team is doing good, depending if they do good or not. And that's a very cool thing that happens year round. Very interesting. So I love that. And then, of course, a new feature for this game modes out in the city, you can play co-op for these street ball areas. So that is very good as well. And one of the biggest features, and the biggest feature, is that they're bringing back classic mode. They're remastering old 2Ks, celebrating 10 years ago, bringing back the amazing courts that we loved in the old days, which was Sunset Beach. You know, they had all of those modes, and all of them are coming back. It's not just one map, it's literally all of them. And they'll be coming back at the end of every season. Oh, little pro tip. If you get early access, you can play it for the first couple days. So early content for those who are making content, that'll be nice to get in there and do that. Then they have the rep and legend system, which is very important in my opinion, probably the most important when it comes to the game. And we want to make sure you know what it is. You know what it is. That is very good. And we're going to get into that. But I want to show you guys some of these new actual parks, aka old parks, the classics. Right? And which one are you excited for? Please leave it in the comments. And again, we're stuck on my career, but I'm going to get into all the other modes very shortly. Promise. Just wanted to start off with that. I want to show you the rep rewards real quick for a second as we, continue to give you everything. This is it right here. You're going to get legend this year. You can hit legend. And then on top of that, there's top 10 again. And there's a bunch of rewards that haven't been revealed fully yet on what is coming, but it's definitely something that's there. And I want you guys to lock into that as we go forward. And I'm going to kind of speed through some of this stuff. We're not going to go through every detail, but they have the triple threat park for my team, but you can go in there, play co-op with your friends, and it's outside in the open, which is kind of like a park, which is very nice. They have the Gatorade gyms now, going to give you 25% rep bonus. So that is amazing. A lot of us will probably be in there. I think that's nice. And then the rebirth is changed. You're able to hitch your first character or any character to 99. And then when you go to rebirth, making a new character, you can get them to 99 right away and not having to level them up as far as right away you can use your VC to get the second character maxed out. And so that's the stuff for the city. There's plenty of other things on my team, and we're going to get into some of that. And then my career. I mean, it's a lot of information, guys, but I want to try to give you all of it. So I appreciate you hanging out for the first part of this video and hanging with me. We're going to switch on over into the one and the only, my career. And there's a lot to talk about with my career. Gonna be watching some highlights of clips that I basically edited to get us a little bit more fun visuals. So as far as my career goes, this is probably the most popular mode outside of my team. And basically, they have a bunch of confirmed things. I'm just gonna kind of go through it. The builder, I have videos for that, but basically, the builder is somewhat like last year, but they have new elements where there's a legend badge now instead of Hall of Fame. So you're able to go even higher and probably be more effective. The community builds, if you guys don't know what that is content creators can get their builds in the game. So that's something that's going to be uh refreshing to see more new content creators. I mean, they should put mines in there. I'm just going to be real. Honestly, I feel like I'm one of the best builder experts out there. Not to kind of throw shade at anybody, but it's some of these builds not the best. Just saying, just got to be honest. But attribute refresh, they basically made it so that you're able to have a new system. Agility is the new attribute that's going to be a key in the game for defensive players. It's basically it makes you move laterally, have faster speed when you're moving back and forth. So that's going to be a bonus if you want to try to put that on. They have a takeover system with over 72 takeovers, but only 14 of them are for your actual ability. The others are mostly buffing your stats up as you go. And then to dive deep into, one of the key pillars of all of this is the badges. And there's so many badges. I mean, I would have to do a separate video. We're not going to cover all of them. Probably seen them in this video that I did. But right here, these are all the badges. There's way less than before, more almost half as much. They compress some of them and put them together, which I think is great and could really change the way we play and not have to worry about 1,000 badges in the game. I thought that's a good feature. And then there's badge perks as well. You can use a max one to boost the badge up an extra level. So that could be very good. We're going to see how that works. We have to test it ourselves and things like that. Then they have the performance multipliers, kind of like last year, similar, where you beat a good opponent, you're going to get extra progress with that and things like that. They have these badge elevators where it permanently boosts an individual badge up 3 levels within the max potential. So that's interesting, and we got to see how those function. One of the biggest changes, these things called cap breakers that they put into the game, which I thought was ridiculous, but they're trapped inside of the rep rewards, so we don't know yet how far along the rep rewards you have to get, but there's 15 of them. And just to kind of give you an example, you're able to buff yourself up higher in your attributes with these. So your attributes will go up to 5 extra. And I have a breakdown on that if you want all those details. But that's something that I thought was interesting and exciting to say the least. Really, really loving that. And then there's my career, the actual game, where you're trying to have the best dynasty. So this year they want you to kind of make the greatest dynasty ever and try to beat that and top all of that. They did a lot of improvements to key games and different things within it that I thought was clutch. Actually, very, very good overall, my opinion. So, super exciting and interesting stuff. And we're going to get into the thick of what some of you guys might really appreciate, which is my team. We're on to the next segment. And my team is one of the biggest modes as well. And there's a lot to talk about. I'm not going to showcase too much from my team because it's more verbal stuff, but auctions are back. They are back and heavy. 2K talks about, like, not having players manipulate the market and do these certain things, but they said it's back and they want everybody to enjoy it. So it's going to be there. And then we talked about it earlier, but the triple threat park, it's basically bringing back a classic mode in the mode that doesn't have this, which is going to be very cool for my team to be able to have a park as well, so people can get together and kind of thing. I think this is big for me. I'm gonna be playing that mode just to hang out and enjoy some time out there. It's very cool. You go in there with your created player, and then you queue up your main players, which you have to earn, of course, but that is super cool. And then they did a lot of changes to that as well. They have like a showcase spotlight of you picking up a crazy card and stuff like that. They have a thing called breakout mode. It basically revamps the single player experience, and it's something that I think is going to kind of help new players, but also streamline some of it for those who want that, whether it's for quick triple threat 3-on-3, clutch time, and all of the modes. I think that'll be exciting once we get our hands on it, of course. Could be interesting, and we'll see how that goes. They also have a thing called Showdown, which is a head-to-head multiplayer mode where you're actually really gonna play 4-minute quarters. All right, and it's real deal, and you're trying to get up the ranks and you know make your way to the top. And then every Friday, they're going to have rewards for the groups based on their tier, whatever tier you make it to, which I thought was incredible. And then they also have King of the Courts, guys. This is the one that I'm excited for. Basically, it's tournaments in a way, and they're basically making it so that whoever's the top in there can get a million VC. And I don't feel like that's a lot. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's just in-game currency. It's not real. They can give that to everybody. That's just something that the developers have access to if they want. So we'll see how this goes. For me, this is the one mode I'm going to be playing on my team for sure, just to have a little bit of fun and more just seeing how far I can get and win. I'm looking to at least win one. I'm not going to try to win every single week, but I can win one, I'm happy. A million VC, I got a couple bills right there off that. All right. And then there's the challenges. They're basically combine agendas and challenges together for a new challenge menu, which I thought was great. They have my team rep, the rep system to my team. You know, rep serves for a year long this time, and it doesn't reset uh, every 40 for the season. So it's very good. You can get a bunch of rewards for that, and that's going to be special. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so they're doing some really good stuff, in my opinion, for my team. There's a couple things like UI changes and so on, but I felt like pretty excited about them offering that and going in on it. Okay, so now I want to dive into my MBA, and my MBA again, another mode that might be slept on, but it's amazing. They brought back MyGM, and you're basically able to run things. And what's crazy about this is it's like an RPG system. You get to pick your story background if you're like a next player or next scout. Are you a capitalist? What type of person you are, which affects other things, the way you negotiate with players and how that improves your offense ability, your defense, or whatever. All of that is big. And then you can pick your perks to be able to buff yourself up. And it's basically some new badges for the GM that you're able to do a lot for. They have tons of stuff. You can talk about your goals and conversations with some of these actual walking around, like literally walking around the offices and talking to the governor and things like that, building your team and going from there. There's also going to be a leaderboard for it, which I thought was incredible. One of the best newses was Stephon Curry. We know he's one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. And now he got his own era, which I thought was very cool. Tons of improvements to NBA Cup, which is the in game tournaments. And they expand the league. They also are doing new things with that, so that should be good. and I'm excited about it. And we're going to talk a little bit about gameplay. I mean, this is a long topic. We don't have our hands on the game, but we can go off of the article that they've talked about some of these things. And they basically, one of the biggest quotes from Mike Wayne was that it's the biggest dribble change, most amazing upgrade in 15 years, which is a bold statement, and it's possibly true. But there's 9,000 new pro play animations. Okay, which means dribbles, shooting, defense, blocks, rebounds, all of that has some extra new animations, and I think that is incredible. They have a new system for signature go-to shots, which is gonna be very powerful. Then you have your shot canceling feature, probably the most powerful thing and the most thing I'm excited about that I love. And then there's rhythm shooting, which you're gonna use the right stick, hold it one way, and then press it the other way. And basically, it's called rhythm shooting. And this is gonna be like a skill gap in itself. We'll see how that goes. A new defensive system where you can clamp people up if you move the right stick, but also staying in front of the defender. I mean, the offensive player, and you're good to go. They have a new contest system, and they have floor spacing. They made the floor adjustments to make it better overall. Also, the AI improvements is what they've talked about as well. These are some of the things that they basically brought up about what they're doing to improve the game in their own way. I want to kind of just touch on some of this stuff and just say, like, first of all, if you're watching this video, you are just as excited as I am, and you cannot wait for the game. There's too much to discuss, like each detail and to go deep down the rabbit hole, but I do believe we'll have ourselves a good time. You're watching, for example, footage of the community day footage before the release, and it wasn't the final product. But it's gonna be a fun time to get into this game, man. I feel like basketball is gotten better and better, and 2K has been doing what they have to do to go from here. I'm excited personally for the new stuff in the city, and overall there's a lot of new content that can be very much exciting. So you want to just enjoy yourself and have a good time, you come by to my streams. I'm just casually going to be recording my content, kicking it with the stream, having a good time, and you can be a part of this movement in my channel as we go forward. That's pretty much it, man. Whether you want to play this or not, you can still chat with me. I'm here to just share my energy, share my vibe, and enjoy myself and play the games I love. So you can also go to my main channel where I cover all the other games I'm reviewing or doing guides for. I'm gonna definitely lock in for the year for this one, and there should be guides popping up right now that you can check out. See you there.